Hola mis queridos, ¿cómo estás mi amoricia? Hello my kittens, how are you? My name is Allison, and today we are playing Murder, She Wrote Book 4, Secrets and Ashes. I'm actually really excited to be playing this game again, and I look forward to seeing what happens next. It's actually been a while since I played Book 4. The last time I played Book 4 was in December when I was taking a break from the channel. So there is actually a good chance that you might hear a really loud pick sound. And that is because I actually have a mic built into my headset, and I will be turning it off whenever there is dialogue, just so that I don't have to interrupt or overtalk when there is dialogue, when there's a cutscene. And I actually did notice that in the previous video, their voices were quiet. I had forgotten that the spoken dialogue is synced with the music volume, which really sucks. I wish they had thought through with that when they were making the game, of having 3 volume choices and not just 2. I don't like that they had to do this. But anyway, I do want to mention a couple of things before we get into the game. One, this game is made by Legacy Interactive, and I have to admit they actually did, besides the volume issue, they actually did a really good job of making this game. Because Murder, She Wrote is actually based off a TV show and eventually a book series. The show is about I shouldn't say amateur detective, she's more of a murder mystery author. In turn, she helps out the local police in her hometown. She's basically a real-life version of Nancy Drew, except she's an author. She's learned so much in criminology with her murder mystery books that the police are often asking her for help. And this is kind of revolves into like a really long series. I think it went on to 12 seasons if I remember correctly. Coincidentally, their show lasted long enough when Friends started. So there were quite a few episodes. Well, not a few, there's at least one episode where they did kind of reference Friends. Well, not reference, they mimicked Friends. I saw snippets of it, and it's not the best episode. I saw snippets of it when I was not doing research on Murder, She Wrote, but I had found a video about Murder, She Wrote in my research of looking for a specific video on the movie Clue. And I don't mean the latest movie of Clue, I mean the 1980s Clue, the one where it had multiple endings. Oh my gosh. There's actually one ending that's actually pretty rare, but you actually get to see that ending on Amazon. I'm not going to go into full detail. What I really like about this game is that they put in a lot of work to make sure that it was like the show Murder, She Wrote. For instance, the voice actors, they actually took to likeness of the voices instead of actually getting the actors from the show, I guess to avoid copyrights or whatever, or at least to avoid, confusion or whatever. Because when I first played it, I was like, oh my gosh, is that really her? But then I realized, listening to a different character, I realized, oh, this is not the actual actor from the show, so I had to look into details on that. But yeah, the voice actors, they're doing the voice likeness of the characters from the show, and the music here in the main menu is actually the theme song from the show. Again, my opinion, I super love that. It's been such a long since I've watched this series though. I probably should get back to that once I finish watching 1 or 2 other series that's on my freaking list. I have way too many TV series on my list that I have not finished, and it's driving me nuts. Anyway, I think that's about it, other than one other thing. And that is, if anything in this video does not look familiar, it is because you have not been keeping up. Please check the description box below. There's the links to the previous video as well as the playlist. I recommend the playlist because it will have everything that I've done so far with Murder, She Wrote, Book 4, Secrets and Ashes. In fact, the other 3 books that I've already done, there are separate playlists for that, and it's under an actual section that you can see on the main part of my channel. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Alright, so one of the cool things about this game, it actually tells you specific details when you're done with it, which I actually really like. And when you're done with a specific book, it actually tells you the best time of how long you've played it. Ignore the times on these 3. I actually skipped the dialogue on all of the stories just so that I could get it done and get to this book so I could play it on the channel on time. This one's a little longer because I skipped a puzzle, and if you skip a puzzle, it adds 30 minutes to your length of time. I forgot about that. Anyway, Secrets and Ashes is about... It's more of a somewhat of a missing persons case, because years ago, a woman went missing, a sister/fiance. No one really knows what happened to her, and they just legally claimed her dead, which I honestly don't like. That's not what I don't like. What I don't like is what they're doing currently in the story, which is doing things that they have no idea if it's on her will and testament. And so far, where we are in the story, we have no idea if she had a testament or not. So I guess we'll find that out. Yes, please. Oh, right, the notes. Let's actually go over our notes. That will tell us what's going on. I attended a most interesting board meeting at the library today, during which we voted to purchase Susan Gander's old property from her brother Vern in order to build a new children's wing. Much needed. After the meeting, Vern asked me to take a look around Susan's home before it is demolished in case I can discover any clues that might explain her mysterious disappearance 2 years ago. He said I should keep my eyes open for hidden treasure. Intriguing. Oh, that's right, because he said that Susan brought up treasure that was hidden in her house, but she never mentioned where in her house it was. While searching the archives for information about Susan, I was reminded that she made generous contributions to the library fund. I learned that she had been planning to sell her home to a William Forrest at one time, although apparently that deal did not go through. Why not? I also learned that Susan was engaged to Morris Niederhammer at the time of her disappearance. Perhaps he voted against the library's purchase of her home for sentimental reasons? Or for something else. Investigators found no signs of forced entry to her home, and some personal items were missing that could indicate she left home voluntarily. Something tells me we're not. But this, that he voted against the library, when I first played it, I thought he was saying no because this isn't what she wanted. I don't think we should be doing this. But now knowing, I'm not going to say anything. It's going to spoil things. Susan's home was in terrible disrepair, and it appeared as though someone has removed some of the fixtures, which is tampering evidence. Someone had dismantled the chandelier, and her fireplace had some tiles missing from it as well. I found an ashtray with 2 kinds of cigarette butts, Westminster's and another I couldn't make out. Must remember to ask Vern if Susan smoked, as well as a list of antiques compiled by Chris Lammer of Coveside Antiques. Oh, that's what I forgot to research. There's actually some antique dealers, they don't like the title of antique stores, and they actually prefer a certain title for their shop. I forgot what the name of it is. And I'm just saying this because I learned it from a Nancy Drew game, Message in a Haunted Mansion. You can probably actually look at my play of that so you can look for yourself, but I will do some research on my own and put an annotation of what it is supposed to be called instead of antique store or antique shop. There's a proper name for it, I would imagine.
Hello, Jessica. Shopping for an antique today?
I'm afraid not, Chris.
I heard that the library bought the house next door. Any idea when it will be demolished?
I don't know yet. Speaking of the house, I was just over there on Vern's behalf and found a list you made.
That old inventory list? Where did you find it?
In Susan's living room. Do you remember when you made it?
Shortly before Susan disappeared. With her approval, naturally. She wanted an inventory done before she sold the property to William Forrest. Before the deal fell apart, that is.
Of course. Did you get along with Susan?
To be perfectly honest, no. Susan's house was an eyesore, even before it stood empty. And that hurt my business.
How?
How so?
Well, in nice surroundings, old things look like antiques. In not-so-nice surroundings, old things look like junk. Plus, she kept promising that she'd sell me her furniture, and then changing her mind.
I heard that Susan claimed to have had some kind of treasure hidden in the house.
Jessica!
Did you know about that?
No. I was more interested in the treasure Susan had in plain sight. The furnishings. I was hopeful that if William decided not to buy the house, she might sell it to me. That's why William shared the findings from his inspection with me.
I see. One last question, Chris. Do you smoke?
I used to, but I quit about a year ago.
Mind if I ask what brand?
Westminster's?
I imagine Westminster's is a popular brand, so I don't think that should be in question. I don't think that should be making him a suspect. Alright, doll in trunk. display the dolls. The dolls should belong somewhere else. Oh! Gotcha. Oh hey, tile. Interesting. This tile looks just like this one's over Susan's fireplace. Oh, guess we're taking those. Tribal mask. Where could we find such a thing? Booga jaka, booga jaka. Camera. There's a nutcracker. Cat figurine. There it is. Wrench. Let's see. Handbell. Trumpets. A violin. Golf trophy. Sun. There's the feather. Where's the frickin' handbell? I don't want to use a hint. I know what it's supposed to. I'm dumb.
Chris, these tiles I found in your store, they look like they came from the fireplace in Susan's house.
They did. Before she disappeared, Susan sold me a few tiles. She said she was getting ready to tear down the old fireplace to put a new one in.
Huh.
You've had them all this time? Why didn't you put them up for sale?
I was hopeful that someday I'd get the rest. Then I could sell them all as a complete set.
Good point.
For a lot more money. Pardon me, I have a customer waiting.
I probably should talk with the other person who had a strong interest in Susan's home. William Forrest.
Of course. I do want to mention that there is a little bit, I shouldn't say lag, but there's like a pause between each dialogue between the characters. That is not my intention. I think that is how the game was made, which I understand. The fact that you can misclick and actually miss some important details. Of course, I mean, paying attention to the story, you don't really have to, considering all you're doing is just hidden objects. You're not really solving the mystery yourself.
William, is this a bad time?
Not at all, Jessica.
I stopped by Coveside Antiques earlier and found the home inspection report you had done on Susan Gander's property.
If you're thinking of using that to go by once the library owns the property, I wouldn't. 2 years' time has left it in even worse shape than when I had that done.
I noticed that the report was written shortly before Susan disappeared.
Yes, I was negotiating with her to purchase the property for development. It's a prime in-town lot.
I saw that one of the things you noted was that the fireplace was in disrepair. Now, how could this be when it's bricked up?
I can only assume that Susan bricked it up after she saw the report to address my concerns.
So why did the deal fall through?
I have no idea. The morning we were supposed to sign the papers, Susan changed her mind and backed out without any explanation.
I see. I don't suppose you smoke at all, do you?
I like to indulge in a nice cigar when celebrating a successful deal. Say, Jessica, can I show you some of the new model homes I'm building here in Cabot Cove?
Most certainly.
I suppose seeing those model homes would give some insight as to what he's into. Oh, there's the eye. 25 homes. Jeez. Obsessed much? Okay, we're only 5 short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Easy peasy. It's in squeezy.
Well, William certainly seems to be on the up and up. Perhaps Vern knows more about why Susan canceled the sale of her property to William.
It's possible. Of course, it's also possible that Susan kept those reasons to herself.
Jessica, any news?
No, not yet, Vern. But I do have a couple of questions. Did your sister smoke?
Like a chimney. She was always smoking those Westminsters. I could never stand the smell of cigarette smoke myself. That was one excuse I had for staying away.
There were 2 brands of cigarette butts that I found in her house. Now, assuming that the Westminsters were Susan's, I wonder who the second brand belonged to.
I haven't the foggiest idea.
I was also wondering about the deal to sell her property to William Forrest. Do you remember when exactly she changed her mind?
Just a few days before she disappeared. I remember she sent me a letter about it. I'm sure I have it around here somewhere.
A letter, huh? This is starting to sound fishy to me. Well, yet again, I'm missing the eye. There's our sickle. There's that. You go here. You go here. And you go... Come on, you go here. Ooh, what's this? I know they're all after my treasure. Chris, William, all of them. Just remember that a picture is worth 1,000 words. A picture. Huh. That's the letter I was telling you about. Susan's paranoia was in full force when she wrote it. Interesting. Ruler, wooden spoon. Oh, right there. That's a tape measure. And that's actual tape. Yeah, I was supposed to pick up the photo. This looks like a photo of Susan in her living room. Oh, hey! Skull and bones. Pliers. Oh, there's the eye. I'm not seeing the walkie-talkie either. Oh, nope, there's walkie-talkie. Alright, it's right freaking there. It's, ugh. Woof.
Vern, I found this picture of your sister.
Oh, I forgot. It came with the letter Susan sent me.
Are you freaking kidding me?
She's standing in front of her bookcases in her living room. Who do you suppose took it?
Well, since she rarely let other people take a picture, I bet she took it herself. Photography was one of her hobbies.
Really?
If that's the case, Susan might be trying to tell us something. I should have another look around her house.
I'm noticing that when Jessica has her fingers to her lips, she's actually talking to herself and not the other characters. It's a pretty interesting technique. And I am noticing the time. Perhaps we should stop here, because what happens next is kind of, it does change the narrative of the story a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here and bid you all adieu. I mean, we did learn a lot already, but at the same time, we still don't know if she had a will and testament or not, which frustrates me. I know I'm taking this game way too seriously. I'm aware of that. It's just, when it comes to stuff like this legally in the real world, this should not be happening. You should be trying to find out if she had a will and testament or not after she is legally claimed dead. You shouldn't be assuming you know what she wants. You should be looking for her will and testament. And if you can't find it, well then go to the government for help. You should not be doing this yourself. And if you are by yourself, go to your family or some friends who are in legal activity who can give you legal advice, any of that. Of course, these are my opinions, my suggestions. You don't have to take actual actions on what I say. I just want to make sure that you're aware of it. Alright, well, I have talked quite enough as it is, and I'm sure you all are getting tired of my voice, at least for a little while. Of course, I do have a ton of games, a ton of different styles of games on my channel for you to check out. There are quite a few that I hope to add onto my channel eventually. If you want to learn more about that, please check out my latest vlog. I do go into detail about it. And I believe that is going to be it, everyone. I hope I helped you out at least a little bit in this video. If not, I'm not doing my job. and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. If so, smash that like button like a kitten would. And if you're just now tuning into this channel and you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that ugly red subscribe button, make it that beautiful gray, as well as that bell icon right next to it. That'll notify you of all the videos that I do, which are on Wednesdays 6 p.m. Central and Sundays 4:30 p.m. Central. I love you all so much, my beautiful kittens and viewers. I hope you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. I am Sweet Rascally Rabbit, saying goodbye. Stay awesome and stay on YouTube!